Hello and welcome, my beautiful beings. My name is Allison. I am your intuitive journeying coach and modern day medicine woman. So here I am today just to go over a few things that are happening in our solar system. And whether or not you believe in astrology and or how the planets affect the human nature, we can use these times and these transits as a way to look at self and evaluate what's going on. So right now we have two major things happening right now. I feel like Pluto is in retrograde, and it's been in retrograde since the full moon in Scorpio about a month ago, give or take about a month. So now Pluto is the lord of the underworld, and the underworld means the things within inside of us that we push down and we don't deal with. Our deepest, darkest secrets, our deepest, darkest fears, our deepest, darkest traumas. So being in retrograde, all of these things are bubbling up to the surface. Now, this is going to last for about 5 months. So August, September, we're going to come out of this. This isn't a physical manifestation. This is an internal manifestation. So this particular planet being in retrograde gives us the opportunity to look within inside at our inner traumas, our deep traumas, anything that is suppressing us from showing up as we truly are, like things that are preventing us from being whole. So you're going to be experiencing this for the next 5 months. All right, so that's number one. We have a lot of planets. We have a lot of things going on out there, but we are heading into an extremely busy astrological time. If you go back to my new moon in Taurus video, I kind of touch on that a little bit, not much. But so that's happening, okay? So we're going through that. That's going to be there regardless of what planets are in retrograde and what alignments are happening and what planets are in what houses. This is going to be something that is going on for the next 5 months. You're going to be going in. You're going to be accessing all these traumas. All these things are going to be coming to the surface, and you're going to deal with them. And if you don't think that's happening, maybe you should. If you don't think that Pluto being retrograde is affecting you in any way, because you don't think that's how life works, then that's fine. You don't have to think about it like that. But you can take the next 5 months to go in and look at those traumas, to look at those childhood memories that you've suppressed, to look at your deepest, darkest fears, your deepest, darkest desires. You can take this 5 months time, dedicate 5 months from now, dedicate yourself during this time to look at those things, to explore those things, like why and what and how. Do the how, what, when, where's, whys of your traumas next 5 months. So the 13th, May 13th, Jupiter moved into Pisces. So Jupiter is the planet of gifts and beliefs and travel and expansion. So there's Jupiter, right? So Jupiter is here with us, and it's in Pisces now, and it is in its home planet. So mostly we think that Pisces is ruled by Neptune. But before Neptune was discovered, Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, ruled Pisces. So it's home, it's at home, and it's alone. There's no other planets in Pisces. So what does this mean? This means like it's thriving. And Jupiter's a beneficial planet. It's not a it's not a bad planet. It's a good planet. So this planet provides us with gifts. You know, in this section, like it provides us with gifts. And Jupiter being in Pisces provides us with gifts. So depending on where that is in your chart, it gets a little bit deeper, but we're not even dealing with that right now. We're just going to go and tell you, I'm just going to give you like a little quick rundown on this. So for me, when I think of Pisces, I think of the age of Pisces. We are currently in the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is all about new and improved and, innovative ideas like technology. And you're gonna see we've been dawning on the age of Aquarius since the early 60s. We've been dawning this, and I personally believe that we have definitely now entered the age of Aquarius. Like, I believe we are in the beginnings of the actual time of age of Aquarius. Now, that brings me back to the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces is when the Christ energy was introduced. Mysticism came to our minds, like things that are greater and beyond our, realm of reality, like our spiritualism, our religious aspects, like all Pisces rules, this Christ-like energy. So for me, that's my interpretation of Pisces. Everybody's going to get a different interpretation of Pisces. Pisces is a very deep sign. It is a water sign, so it is connected to our emotions. And for me, it's our spiritual emotions. So Jupiter is expansive, and it gives us gifts, and it provides us an urgency to travel, to get out, to explore. It challenges our beliefs and our self-beliefs. So here we are, Pisces and Jupiter. So what does that mean for me? So this is a quick transit. This is like a 2.5 month transit. You're only going to experience this for 2.5 months, and then Jupiter is going to go back into Aquarius, where it's been for a very long time now, and that's all intellectual. Air signs are intellectual. Aquarius is an air sign. I know they have water in their picture. It can be kind of confusing, but Aquarius is an air sign. So, we have been gifted with intellectual knowledge. So much knowledge is coming at us. Aquarius, Jupiter, our belief systems have been challenged through the intellect. But now we're going into the spirit, and we're going to stay here for 2.5 months, like I said, and then we're going to go back to Aquarius, and then in December, we're going to go back into Pisces, and 2020, we're going to spend a lot of time with Jupiter and Pisces. So my opinion on what we're going to experience now, I'm seeing all over the internet, and I'm hearing all over the internet, summer of love, summer of love, summer of love, summer of love, summer of love. I don't know, The only thing that I see Jupiter and Pisces relating to is love is that, Jupiter isn't its home planet. It's home alone. There's no other planets there. It can do whatever it wants. So it is enjoying itself. It's having a great time. So of course we're going to be receiving all these gifts. But the gifts that we're going to be receiving, in my personal opinion, are more of the mystic, the religious, the spiritual gifts. We're going to be able to expand our inner knowledge, the third eye. We're going to be able to open this during this time. We're going to be gifted with insight and just restructuring our spiritual belief system. And Jupiter also connects to travel. So maybe we're not physically traveling, and maybe we will be physically traveling and doing adventures. But for me, I see it as a traveling of the spirit to find our truth and the expansion of the possibilities. So I also believe that this is a great time for manifesting the imagination. So I believe that this is a great time where time seems malleable. So we're able to shift our realities during this time. Like I said, Pisces is the mystic, so they're able to conjure up this imaginative world. They're great with their imagination, and that Pisces energy can go both ways, though. So you can conjure up great things, and you can pursue great things, or that Pisces energy can also conjure up bad things like addictions and just living in a world that doesn't really exist. The great imagination, whatever you're imagining is your powers during this time. So if you're imagining in your head horrible things, you're gonna have horrible things, and that's just the reality of everyday situation, but it's going to be amplified, it's going to be expanded during this 2.5 months. So take note on that. So yes, Jupiter in Pisces is going to be gifting us with a lot of beautiful things, but we have to take the time to realize that we can create this beautiful existence right now. We have this magical, mystical power, Jupiter Pisces, to give us, what we want. And if that doesn't resonate with you and that just seems like bullshit, okay, that seems like bullshit. So what are we going to do? How can we approach this in a non-bullshitting way? We can approach this in a non-bullshitting way by just simply traveling, exploring, going out, going and doing something that you haven't done before. Checking into your spiritual beliefs and are they your spiritual beliefs? Are they yours? Did you program yourself? I mean, not did you program, but did somebody else program you to believe these things? Can you expand your mind into the concept of your beliefs? Can you allow these things, So this is a very good time for spiritual enlightenment and spiritual knowledge. So yeah, Jupiter and Pisces, maybe it's a summer of love. And I believe Jupiter and Pisces is going to give you those what's that song? I don't even know what the song is. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, like blowing through the jasmine in my mind. So yeah, it's going to bring that energy during the summer. So it's going to be there, but also remember you have Pluto doing its underworld work. So it's churning and, bringing up all of these conditionings and traumas that are preventing us from coming into the beauty and gifts that we are receiving right now, right? Now we got something else happening. We do have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse happening soon, but before we even get to that, we got Mercury. Mercury is stationed to go retrograde on, I believe the 26th, which is also the same time that we are having eclipse. But Mercury has a shadow. It has a 3-week to 2.5 shadow before and 3-week to 2.5 shadow after. So we are now experiencing the next 2.5 weeks are going to be conversations, situations, communications, things that we're going through right now in the next 2.5 weeks are going to be revisited once Mercury goes retrograde. So like keep an eye on what's going on in this brain right now, like what we're experiencing with our friendships, how we're communicating with people, things that are coming up. It's very important right now to keep an eye on that because we will be revisiting those things through Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a physical, for me, and I believe a lot of people, Mercury retrograde is something that we see in our outer world because it is 3D. Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. And I'm sorry. Especially Gemini here, they have to see in the 3D to comprehend. So, unless they have like a lot of other like things going on in their chart, Gemini usually needs that 3D to comprehend the reality of what is. So they don't, they're very 3D. To understand, they need 3D. So that is why we're going to experience in a 3D realm. And what does this deal with? This deals also with travel, but different kind of travel than Jupiter, where Jupiter's adventure travel. Mercury is just regular travel, communication, social networking, things like that. So for when Mercury goes retrograde, you are going to experience crossed lines, crossed communication, misunderstandings. Your car's going to have problems. You're going to experience setbacks in legal matters, things that are happening in that way. Like they say, don't sign any papers, don't do all these things. There's a lot of don'ts for Mercury, and we'll get into that as we go on. But right now we're in the shadow, so I want you to take note of the next like 2.5 weeks and things that are coming up, and see how they come back when Mercury turns retrograde. Mercury retrograde won't be that long. It's like a 3.5 week period or something. And it actually is going retrograde in Gemini, and we're going into Gemini season soon. So it's going to be intensified because it's in its home planet, just like Jupiter is going to be intensified with its gifts. It's restructuring of our belief systems, our traveling, all these things, because Jupiter is in its home planet of Pisces. So, these planets get amplified when they're in their own homes. Just like when you're at home and nobody's home and you're by yourself, like you're on top of the fucking world. You don't have to deal with anybody. You make your own rules. You're the ruler of your castle. It's the same concept when these planets are in their home place. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Mercury's coming up. Lunar eclipse, full moon, not full moon, new moon, lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. Mercury is going retrograde, but right now we're kind of dealing with like the Pluto, and we are also dealing with Jupiter. So Jupiter's 2.5 months. Mercury, we're not there yet. Pluto's 5. So while we're going through all these things, we still have Pluto going on. When we get through all these things, Pluto will still be there and it will go away, but it's just underlying. It's that inner work with Pluto. So let's see, what else can I tell you about the planets today? Just don't take things so seriously. And like if you don't grasp the idea and it doesn't resonate with you about the planets, like I said before, it's just like a calendar. It's just like a suggestion from something bigger to look with inside, to do the self-work, to self-examine, to know thyself. And if that isn't like the whole entire point of everything on this earth is to know thyself, for me, then I don't know what is. Like, I have Neptune in my first house, which can make me not know myself. It casts an illusion on who I am. And I show up in the world differently every day, and this confuses people, and it's okay. It's just who I am. And I'm knowing myself. I'm getting to know myself as time goes on, and it's consistently a self-work in progress, but it is what it is. So, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I just want you to take a moment to consider the opportunities that the planets are providing you for knowledge of self. Yeah. So that's about all I got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow. I am 5 days away from my 30-day video completion stuff. I'm doing really good. I'm really surprised. I'm definitely more comfortable in front of the camera now. Live, I don't know. I don't know about live yet, but maybe we'll get there one day. But if I don't have an audience, then what's the point of going live, right? Like, I don't have a lot of watches or views on my videos, and that's okay because it's not about likes and views. It's literally about me expressing myself, using my throat chakra, going through this process, overcoming some astrological things about being viewed and seen. Chiron is in that place. I'll discuss more on that some other time, but right now it's truly just about me expressing myself. And maybe I don't have a lot of viewers, and maybe I don't have a lot of subscribers, but it's not about that for me. It's about a expressive healing. It's about being able to communicate, Mercury, and say the things that I need to say and learn how to articulate in a way that people understand. And on top of that, it's, me learning how to help people from this point of view. So even though there's nobody here, thumbs up to me, pat myself on the back, right? Yeah. All right. So if you liked my content, if you're watching, give me a thumbs up, a subscribe. Please share my content. Any and everything helps me. Not only does it help me on this channel, it helps boost my drive forward in this pursuit. So yeah, that's all I got for today. I really wish that some of my closest friends were supporting me, but they're not. And that's okay, because when people start moving from a place of authenticity and trying new things, people don't have time to be bothered with other people. And you realize that, like, it's not about you, it's about them. And yeah, it doesn't matter. I just went on a tangent there. Oh shit, I hope that doesn't come up during Mercury retrograde for me, but if it does, it does. Whatever. Love you guys. Have a blessed and beautiful Saturday.